Okay, so on YouTube, Ephesia asked, "Hey guys, thank you for your video. I really need your help. I personally had other cities in mind, but cannot decide. I plan from February to work for 6 months in the same city and then travel everywhere. I'm hesitating between Wellington and Tauranga. I want to work as a barista and work quite a lot. Thank you."
Ooh, work quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
All right, cool. So we have 2 cities to compare. So let's start with the first one. What's the first one? Wellington, right?
Yeah, so Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand, and it's pretty much the capital of coffee as well. People go nuts for coffee in Wellington. So if you do want to work as a barista, it's sort of like the first place that comes to mind. But you do also have to bear in mind that because it is the first place that comes to mind, it's the same for everyone. So it's going to be really competitive. Everyone that wants to work in a cafe is going to go there to find a job. So it might be quite hard. You are competing with other people. And in New Zealand, you know, really good barista skills are really competitive. And there's a lot of people that have done like actual real training and got like qualifications in this stuff. So
well, you're assuming that Ephesia doesn't have real training?
Well, I don't know. That information wasn't included in the question. But you know, just the main point is that it's going to be very competitive in Wellington, but maybe you like that. Maybe you want to have some competition or something. I don't know. But in terms of staying there for 6 months, obviously, when you do have days off, you probably will want to explore. Of course, you're in a new country, you want to see the place. But the problem with Wellington is that it is located right at the bottom of the North Island, and sort of getting around is a little bit more difficult in comparison to other places on the North Island. So if you are keen to explore more, then maybe Wellington's not a good place to base yourself for the entire 6 months. Is there anything else you'd like to mention about Wellington?
I think I want to talk about how isolated that is.
Yeah, that's kind of So it's right at the bottom of the North Island.
Yeah, that's really kind of the one thing that will be drawing me away from Wellington. But if you're barista, you know, if you're all about coffee, that is where I would go. But it's a bit isolated.
Yeah.
Moving on to Tauranga, though, it's a polar opposite of Wellington, right? Yes, there is much less coffee shop, but man, it's so central. You'll be able to go so many different places. So I would definitely make sure that I base my. I will spend some time in a place which is less isolated than Wellington. So that's why I will actually really strongly consider Tauranga, although it might be a little bit harder to find a job as a barista because there is much less coffee shop. On the other hand, because there is much less coffee shop, there is going to be much less competition from other baristas to get the job. So that may give you the edge and making you able to actually have a barista job rather easily. But there are plenty of other jobs in Tauranga as well.
Yeah, so Tauranga for basically working holiday makers, which I assume you will be. For Tauranga, it's really famous for picking jobs. So, you know, working on farms, and this is very seasonal, very temporary. So you can make some quick cash. It's the pay is like pay per bin, so pay by basically how much you pick. Which, when you're working as a team with other people, you can actually make some quite good money there. But yeah, so the good thing about Tauranga is that there is a lot of other types of jobs that you can do. You know, also there's retail, there's warehouse jobs, there's loads of different things you can do. And you might want to consider doing something different to what you're used to when you come to New Zealand, because that's sort of what a working holiday or working abroad is all about. It's about trying lots of different experiences, and Tauranga is definitely a good place to do that. Yeah.
So I wouldn't dismiss Tauranga straight away. I think it has a lot of advantages, especially if you want to base yourself there for a wee while. If you're after city life, like most people that actually base themselves in Wellington, they are after the city life and they just want the city life. So on the day off, they just want the city life. They're not looking at exploring New Zealand, right? When you base yourself in Tauranga, your days off, you actually explore the greater North Island. And so that's really a very different way to approach a trip. And you need to actually think about what your trip is all about. Is it all about working? Or is it all about kind of exploring? And I feel like finding the balance is extremely important when picking a city. To me, I always personally prefer trying to find something that will get me out of the city as much as I can, because working is a secondary purpose to when I'm working and traveling, right? Working is the afterthought that will enable me to kind of have an amazing experience. So I'm more willing to suck it up on work and have a work that I like a little bit less, but that allows me to explore and make this trip something that I would really remember, rather than actually just having work and then basically remember my trip as, oh yeah, I was working abroad.
Yeah, you can work at home.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be working abroad. I want to travel abroad and work along the way to allow me to do that. So that's basically how I will approach this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wellington or Tauranga, there are pros and cons for both. You heard it, so it's really kind of up to you to choose which one you prefer. I'd love to know, Ephesia, which one you decide on, and so make sure to let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys, if you find that super useful. We're going to go through some more questions right now, so let's get started.
Yeah.